happy to be on here. So happy to be on here this morning. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sarah June Diaz. I am a real estate agent with Mohican Associates Real Estate. And I come from an education background, and I'll kind of go over that, in the presentation that I have. But I absolutely love teaching and helping, and I get to do so in this capacity now. I'm branching into a new venture, which is, helping and coaching other real estate agents how to use specifically social media, since I myself have had so much success in utilizing social media. Instagram is my jam, but I have been using TikTok a little bit more, since I think, TikTok is kind of like the new thing, right? But Facebook is always an oldie but goodie as well. So I use all of those social media platforms. My presentation specifically is geared towards Instagram, but you can always tweak it to use it for Facebook and then even TikTok as well. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen.
Awesome. Sarah, I'm so excited to have you on too, because I'm a social media marketing strategist. So I talk about social media all the time. Mm-hmm. It is such a pleasure to have an agent come on that is utilizing those techniques and actually show us, hey guys, it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not just saying use it because we're saying use it. We're not just saying, hey, this is the wave of the future. And we think that, this could be a good thing for your business. It actually is. So having a top producer like you come on and share with us today. I know I love Instagram. It's a newer platform for me because I've been on Facebook for so long, but I'm excited to learn. And we're so excited to have so many people on that are going to learn about this too.
Wonderful. Yeah, it's different, right? I can actually walk the walk and talk the talk. So
yes, this is why we love having top producers on like yourself.
Yay. Okay, so I'm going to go over today how to get quality leads using Instagram. If you've been in the business for a while, the hardest lead to nurture and get to the closing table are cold leads. That's why cold calling is really difficult. Door knocking is really difficult. The good thing about Instagram is the people that are watching your stuff are usually warm leads or even hot leads. So that's why using social media can be really effective, because those people that have decided to follow you and are watching your content, watching what's going on in your life, they are already considered a warm lead that you can nurture and really get to either have them be your client or have them be your referral partner. So those are two things that I'm going to be discussing on how to utilize Instagram, is how to get the people who are following you to become your clients, but also how to become your referral partners. So if you're here, you're in the right place. If you want to learn what type of content to post and what kind of content you want to be posting to reach your target audience. You are also in the right place if you want to define your clear purpose to become the go-to agent in your market. You're also in the right place if you want to turn your followers, like I said, into clients and referral partners. So using Instagram can do this for you and your business, but you have to remember that it is a marathon, not a sprint. And that is where it is a tough pill to swallow, because so many real estate agents, not just real estate agents, but business people in general, when they're using social media, they want to see results fast. Oh, I posted a reel. I should be getting clients. It's kind of like, going to the gym one time and expecting that you're going to lose a few pounds. Like, that doesn't happen, right? These things take time. So using social media for your business is also going to take time, strategy, and you guessed it, consistency. So by the end of this webinar, you're going to have learned 3 things. The first thing that I'm going to go over is what a content pillar is. You might have heard of it before, but I'm going to really go over what that means for your real estate business and your strategy. The second thing you're going to learn is what features of Instagram that you should be using for your business. You might be surprised at what feature I'm going to say is the most important and what is the least important. And then the third thing you're going to learn is how often you should be posting? I get these 3 questions all the time. What should I be posting? What features should I be using? And how often should I be posting? So I'm going to go over all of that by the end of this webinar. And I would love to give everybody who is in this webinar a freebie. So these are 22 content ideas that you can use for your stories. So if you ever wake up with brain fog, you can always go to this list and just say, oh, I'm going to post about what a pocket listing is, and really share that knowledge with my followers and with my audience. So Sarah, if you're able to give me like the email or the email addresses of whoever's on today's webinar, I will for sure email this to them, or I can send it to you and you can send it to them, either way.
Perfect. Will do, Sarah.
Perfect. Okay, so a little bit about me. As I mentioned, I do come from education. I was a teacher, I was a dean of students, and I also was a coach. So I taught 9th grade high school English for many, many years. And then I went back to school to get my master's degree in educational leadership because I wanted to be an administrator. I was hired on as the dean of students at a K-8 school, so handling pretty much everything, to be honest: student discipline, testing, sports and activities. I did that for many years. And then I was also a varsity soccer coach. So you can tell that I love and I'm super passionate just about educating and helping people. After I had my son, he's now 3.5, I decided, you know what? I just feel like I need to be doing something greater. I want to have a more flexible schedule. So real estate was always kind of in my back pocket because I grew up with a father who flipped houses my whole life. He was an entrepreneur himself and really flipped houses, and he could do everything. So I really grew up with that background. I told my dad, who's old school, okay, he's old school, that I was going to be using social media as a way to prospect, as a way to get leads. And he thought I was crazy. But in doing so, I ended up making $120,000 my first year in real estate. And of course, it's not just one thing that I did to be successful. I did many things, but one of the major pillars in my business on how to get leads and how to close all of these deals was using social media. And like I said, Instagram was my main platform, but I did post on Facebook and TikTok as well. So now I'm kind of entering into social media coach, Instagram coach, and educator, because I just, have this strong desire to help and teach again. So like many agents starting out, I tried to get leads by door knocking. I tried to get leads by cold calling, and I tried to get leads by posting, but without a strategy. I just thought, oh, I'm going to post to my social media platform and, see what sticks. And I quickly realized that I was getting zero engagement, and I wasn't reaching my target audience. So I also decided that I was going to spend hundreds of dollars on Facebook ads. I did this a few times, and again, I didn't have a strategy behind it. And I was just, quite honestly, putting money into posts that already weren't performing well. So that's going to do me no good. So instead of leads, I got nasty emails because this particular lead that I got from door knocking was a cold lead, and he didn't know me. I didn't know him. We didn't have that relationship or that trust built. So every interaction that I had with that lead was pretty negative. I also ended up getting a mean and hateful comment after paying for Facebook ads. And this is literally a post of me the next morning, just feeling so distraught. And I felt like, okay, maybe I'm wrong. I can't use social media as a way of prospecting. And this was probably my lowest because I was new. I didn't have anything in the pipeline. I had nothing in escrow, and I kept posting and posting and posting, but it was not intentional and there was really no strategy behind it. So I was being consistent, but I was being consistent posting the wrong things. So at the end of the day, I was left feeling doubtful of myself. I was left feeling not confident whatsoever. And then I was definitely fearful of not being successful. So if you felt this way before as a real estate agent, new or not, because I know real estate, man, they have their ups and downs, right? So if you've ever felt this way, you know, you're not alone. And that's why I am here to help. And that's why I really have this like deep passion to wanting to help real estate agents, you know, not be the statistic of, you know, making less than $30,000 a year and then eventually quitting after year one or year two. So I quit, but you'll guess it because I just mentioned it. I didn't quit real estate, but I refocused. I reflected on what I was doing and I really thought, okay, I don't like door knocking. I don't like cold calling. That's going to be like the last thing I do to get leads, although I will do it. You know, that's my mindset. I will do it if I have to, but if I don't have to, if there's another way, I'm going to do that. So, I decided, you know, that's going to be my last resort. And I'm definitely not going to be paying for Facebook ads when that did nothing for me, especially for posts that were already not performing well. And I decided, you know what, I need to come up with a strategy that works. So I spent hours and hours and hours researching, reading, listening to podcasts, really taking in information from top producing agents. And I kept hearing, you know, similar things, post consistently, target your ideal audience by creating a niche. So all of these things you've probably heard as well, but I'm like, well, what does that mean? So, you know, these are very, very broad, ambiguous statements. And so I quickly, by trial and error, learned what they meant by that, by choosing a niche, but choosing a niche that's specific to you and who you are, and posting with a strategy that actually works. And again, that's just by trial and error, by what I have done and by what I have posted. So once I figured it out, and this took time, I started to get direct messages from home buyers and sellers that were my ideal client, because the content that I was putting out there was directed specifically to the people who I wanted to hear, or who wanted to hear it, who I wanted them to listen. And so those were my ideal client. I was attracting people and clients that I really wanted to work with. I also started to get my followers to turn into referral partners. So if they weren't in the market to be buying or selling, they at least thought of me when they were, you know, communicating or talking with someone who they knew. And ultimately, I started to close more deals. So I'm going to share with you this strategy. If you want to drop me a comment in the chat box, regardless, I'm going to share it with you. But this is pretty much the strategy that, you know, that I used and that I found to be really successful. But remember that just like a recipe, the strategy that I'm going to talk about, you can follow to the T, or you can add your own flair, add your own preference. For example, my broker, Michelle Mojica, she posts ultimately about traveling. That's like all she posts about. And then she hardly posts about real estate, but that works for her. So, you know, you can follow my strategy, but you can also kind of, you know, make it your own. So mistake number one that a lot of agents think is that they have to post multiple times per day or even multiple times per week. So remember, it's not about the quality of the, it's not about the quality. I'm sorry, it's about the quality, not the quantity.
Sarah, quick question. Are we supposed to be seeing your slides transition?
Yes. Are you not?
No, we are all stuck on slide 1 of 79.
Oh my goodness gracious. This whole time?
Yes.
Okay, let me see.
I thought you were giving a really great monologue.
No, I have slides that go along with it and visuals and everything. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen. They're just not transitioning.
Okay, let me see. Share, present. Okay, so you see slide 1. Can you see slide 2 now?
Still on slide 1.
Okay, I don't know what's going on. maybe I should stop sharing my screen at first and then,
Technology is always so fun.
oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm so glad that somebody said something. Okay, stop sharing. Let's try this again. Oh, maybe that's why. Okay, tell me, what do you see now?
We can see slide 4.
Okay, cool. That's where we want to be. I'm gonna skip ahead. I was totally talking and putting on my presentation. All right. Can you is it going through now?
I think we are, it looks like slide 4 still.
It's whenever I present. Okay, how about I do, is it all right? Let me just kind of do it this way. Okay, so you see me kind of going through the slides now?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know, when I'm presenting it, when I'm in present mode, it freezes. So that's really weird, but I'll just do it this way.
Looks good to us.
I know, see, I was going through all of these slides. Oh my goodness gracious.
These are great.
Okay. Where was I? Okay. Man, don't you just love technology?
Absolutely. If it makes you feel any better, the Zoom presentation that I did yesterday, the presenter's screen was getting stuck as well.
Okay.
So he had to exit in and exit out multiple times as well. So I'm just like, well, this is just how technology is this week.
Yeah. This week, something. Okay. So I'm here. I think this is where I left off. So mistake number 1 is real estate agents think that you have to post multiple times per day or even per week. But if you just keep in mind that it is about the quality of the content, not the quantity, then you might not get so overwhelmed. So here's a visual. I'm glad that someone mentioned it before getting here. Here's a visual about the amount of times that you should post. This is just a good rule of thumb. Notice how I have broken it down into stories, reels, and then feed posts. So stories, I recommend posting 5 to 6 days out of the week, reels, 2 to 5 days out of the week, and feed posts is anything else, whether that's a static image or whether that's a long form video or an Instagram live. You can post that when appropriate. You don't have to post every week, even a feed post. But what you really should be doing is posting to your stories daily, 5 to 6 days out of the week, and then posting reels, because that really is one of the most popular ways that people are consuming content now on Instagram. So I want you to think of Instagram like an actual store. Okay, so this is my profile. If you think of Instagram as an actual store, think of your bio as kind of like your store's name, right? Let's pretend that you're walking down Beverly Hills and you come across this store. And you look and you see the name of the store. You can get an idea of like the kind of items or the kind of clothing based on what you see from the outside, based on the name of the store, and then also based on like what's on display in the window. So think of your feed as kind of like what's on display in the window. Okay, so the person coming onto your profile, they are going to want to know what is it that you do or that you're going to be talking about. And then they're going to scroll through your feed to get an idea of who you are and what content that you're posting. So that's them warming up to you when they come to your profile. And then your stories is as if the person is actually entering the store to purchase. So if you're walking down Beverly Hills, you see the name of the store that catches your eye, you look and you see the items on display in the window, you're going to decide if you want to walk into the store and maybe look and see if there's something that you want to purchase, or you're going to decide to keep on walking and check out a different store. And the same goes with your Instagram profile. So you want to be really specific in your bio, and you want to have the cover images on your feed post share what it is that you're going to be talking about, or what it is that you do, some important tidbits that you want your followers to remember you by. And then once they are interested, once you've piqued their interest, I guarantee you they're going to automatically click on your stories. So you'll notice in my bio that I have my stories highlighted. So if somebody's interested in learning more about you, they're going to always, 99% of the time, I won't say 100%, but 99% of the time, they're going to click on your stories to see if you're somebody that they actually like, and if there's someone that they're, that they want to continue to follow and maybe even talk to. Okay. So mistake number 2 is that you have a personal account and you have a business account. This is kind of controversial, but in my opinion, real estate business is personal. So to have a separate business account and a personal account just doesn't really work. And that's because your buyers and sellers, they want to do business again with someone they like, know, and trust, and intertwining your personal life with your professional life is key to getting your followers to do that, to like, know, and trust you. They want to work with somebody that they can relate to and that they're going to have an enjoyable experience with. Mistake number 3 is that you think real estate is your brand. Okay, I want you to all remember that you are your brand. Real estate is not your brand. Your brokerage is not your brand. You are your brand. So your brand is your outlook on life, your interests, your niche, what you're passionate about, your background, history, and heritage. And with that, yes, you have colors and fonts, that represent your uniqueness and your spirit. And that's going to create brand awareness, the colors and the fonts that you're consistent with. But ultimately, your brand is not just the colors and fonts on your profile. It's who you are. So the content that you post should stay true to who you are, aka who you are. And when you post content that is true to you, the clients that are attracted to you are also going to share those similarities. So if you're thinking what content you should be posting, I want you to think of content pillars as the topics that you're going to be posting most about. So a good rule of thumb is to have 3 to 5 content pillars, and real estate is one of those pillars. Again, these content pillars are going to be what you are posting about on all of the features, stories, reels, your feed, and your lives. So this is a little handout that I tend to give some real estate agents that I coach to get them thinking about their pillars. So pillar number 1 is going to be real estate related, but 2, 3, 4, and maybe even 5 are going to be your interests. So stuff that is unique to who you are. I'll give you my profile, for example. For me, you'll notice just even by reading my bio, it doesn't have to be laid out this specific in your bio, but mine is. You'll notice that in my bio, my real estate specific content is geared towards first-time home buyers. That's my niche. I post other real estate related content, of course. I just posted a video about an investment property. So it's not only first-time home buyer information, but that's the majority of the content that I post. You'll notice that another one of my pillars is motherhood. My 3rd pillar is local businesses. And my 4th pillar is home renovations, because we just bought our own house that we've been fixing up. So in my bio, you'll see like realtoring while mothering. So you'll notice, yes, I'm a real estate agent, but I'm also going to be posting about motherhood. Let's be friends if you like pretty houses, cute babies, yummy food, and home renovations. So again, it's letting my followers or anybody who comes to my profile know exactly what I'm going to be posting about. This is just another example to give you an idea. I'm kind of rushing because I know we don't have that much time. But
Sarah, this is great content.
Okay. And then this is just an example of like how a real estate agent could fill out that worksheet. You know, again, you break it down. You have your pillar number 1, which is always going to be related to real estate. And then your other pillars are what you want to post about, right? Make sure that the pillars that you identify are things that you actually want to share and post about, because then you're not going to get tired of it. You're not going to feel overwhelmed because you actually enjoy it. So here is a visual of like how much professional versus personal content you should be posting. This can change daily, but you know, a good guide is that your first pillar that is specific to real estate should make up about 70% of what you're posting. And then your other pillars will make up 10%. Let's just say if you have 4 pillars. If you only have 3 pillars, okay, then change that to 15%, 15%. In other words, the majority of what you're posting on your feed, on your stories, talking about on Instagram Lives should be real estate related, even more so specific to your niche. But it shouldn't even have to be all about real estate. Okay, so if you're thinking, all right, how do I even start in this Instagram strategy? I'm going to break it down into 5 steps. So step number 1 would be to create your brand. You have to identify not only your, brand colors and brand font, but also really think about who you want to be known for on social media. If someone were to go onto your page, think about like, what is it that they want to know about you other than you sell real estate? Step 2 is to identify your content pillars, and you can do so by, filling out a worksheet like I just showed you. Step 3 is you're going to actually have to create the content. This is where it gets tricky because people, either don't have the time or energy to actually create the content. Step 4 is you're going to have to post consistently, but posting consistently is going to be different from real estate agent A to real estate agent B. If you are new to Instagram, then posting consistently to you might be posting 2 times a week. If you're somebody who knows Instagram a little bit more, then you might up that to posting 3 or 4 times a week. So make sure that you keep it manageable for you and your comfort level. And then step number 5 is to systematize it. And what I mean by that, it could be a couple of things. You can learn how to batch record for your stories or batch record reels, or you can even use apps like later.com to be able to schedule out your posts to kind of set it and forget it. And the last thing that I'm going to go over is what features should you be using for Instagram strategy. Technically, all of them. Instagram will favor the content if they are posting stories, if they're posting reels, if they're posting Instagram lives. But as a real estate agent, if you ask yourself this question, where do I get most of my business from? If you really think about it, where do I get most of my business from? And you might have to think like, where did my first deal come from? You'll probably conclude that most of your clients are coming from your sphere of influence. And that is why I say posting to your stories as, the most is key. And that's because stories are going to keep you top of mind with your sphere. They're going to speak directly to your sphere. And you don't need a lot of followers to get clients, because who's following you are already people in your sphere and who are those warm leads and referral partners. So stories is really where you can convert. And that's because you're building trust and credibility, you're building stronger relationships, and then you're asking, if done right, you're asking your followers to converse with you and engage in conversation. So when you post to stories intentionally and consistently, you're going to gain that likability, credibility, and trust, and then you're going to get leads and referral partners. So out of all of this, I just want you to remember this one nugget is focus on posting to your stories first. And then you can move on to posting reels or going on, Instagram lives. But you really want to focus on stories because that's where you're going to convert the most clients. Okay. And then if you're thinking like, how can I get help with this strategy or with those steps? Don't forget that, I can help as I'm going into this, new avenue of teaching and educating other real estate agents. So if you want to get in contact with me, you can find me on my website, sarahjunerealtor.com, or you can find me on Instagram, Sarah June Diaz Realtor. Okay, woo, I was speed racing. Are there any questions?
I think the comments were all just super positive feedback. This was a really great presentation, Sarah June. Great information. I love the fact that you did simplify it with, hey, focus on stories first. And one of the important things to note about stories is that they only last for 24 hours. So you want to just do what, on your stories, whatever you're doing in your normal day, like a day in the life of a real estate agent. If you think about, bringing in that content into your stories, that's actually what people want to see. And the more you post your stories, the higher frequency that you will be in one of the first story bubbles that people see when they actually open up their Instagram account. So consistency with that. And like I said, once you get people viewing your stories, they're going to want to keep viewing them, which is great because they'll see your content, and stories you don't have to put a lot of thought and effort into. I think is really great for real estate agents because you guys are really busy. And you can get into a social media content hole so quickly where you find that you are spending a lot of time trying to create content, whereas like a story, you just go in, you post it, and you just move on with your day.
Yeah. So I always think of stories as kind of like your own reality TV show. And that honestly, if you walk into a store, oftentimes, like I had mentioned in my analogy, like people buy from stores or really anywhere because of the emotion that's being evoked from them or how they're felt, right? Not that product. There's the same product in a million stores, but it's all about how you feel, right? Or that message that particular company is showing. And it's the same with real estate. And the stories is really where the follower can see all that, where they can start to feel that emotion, like, oh, this person is really funny, or this person is super knowledgeable about their market. This person is a mom just like me. We have that in common. So I always tell real estate agents that I coach, people are not going to do business with you because of X amount of listings that you have or how many years you've been in the business. That helps, but that's not ultimately why someone chooses you to be their real estate agent. They choose the person who they ultimately trust, they like, and who they feel is going to do right by them. Right. So that's kind of what you want to showcase. And it's easiest to do that in your stories than in a feed post or reel or, an Instagram live.
Absolutely. We do have a couple of questions. Do you happen to have an example of a post in your presentation?
Yes. Let me share my screen one more time. I'm going to go here. Okay. I think I know what was going on. Maybe I was sharing the wrong screen. I have 3 screens.
Sure, of course, right?
Yeah, I like to have my screens. Okay, hold on. What's going on here? Log in. I want to show you. Goodness gracious. Let's just see if I do this. Instagram.com/Sarah. Okay, can you all see my page, my profile? Yes. Okay, so you'll notice here that, yes, I have my highlights. So again, all of my highlights are gonna fall under my pillars, whether that is real estate, motherhood, local spots, or home renovations. And you can see, they all are going to fall under that one category. And then at the top, I actually have 3 pinned posts. Not sure if you know that you could do that, but this is a really important feature because the first 3 things, again, it's like window shopping. The first 3 posts that a follower sees are going to be these first 3 things. So you want to make sure that these videos that you're pinning, or these feed posts that you're pinning, are how you want to be remembered or how you want to be known. So you'll notice that my first one is a reel. I think all 3 of these are reels actually. And my cover page is stating why I quit my job to be a real estate agent. Again, invoking emotion. And if you click on it, oh man, I don't know if it's going to work, you guys.
It's okay. We can all go follow you and go check it out.
Okay, yeah. It's a reel, but it's I guess spoiler alert, it has to do with my son. It's the fact that I wanted to be a real estate agent because of my son. Literally it's a video montage of all of the things that I get to experience with my son now that I'm a real estate agent and not having to spend 10 to 12 hours in education anymore. And then the second one that I've pinned is kind of more like a client testimonial. It's a screenshot of a text that a client said about me. Again, it's giving me social credibility. And then the third one that I've pinned is how to get pre-approved. So that is geared specific towards first-time home buyers, right? Because a lot of first-time home buyers, they don't know how to even start the process. And the first step is to get pre-approved. And then you'll just notice that, my other posts, they either have to deal with first-time home buying, local shops, motherhood, or home renovations. So yeah, you can go to my profile and see, and then on my stories, even like check out my stories, because I am really big on posting on stories, because that is where you're converting. That's where people are literally asking you questions. And I change it up with my stories, with home tours. That's kind of mainly what I post on my stories. But I'll post other things as well, obviously.
Awesome. And then we did have another question about any strategies regarding hashtags.
All right, hashtags. Don't stress about hashtags, okay? I think a lot of people think hashtags is where you're going to get noticed, and that's not the case anymore. That was the case a year ago with Instagram when they first rolled out hashtags. It was much easier to get to get a wider audience on your content that way, but it's not that way anymore. They're not focusing on hashtags. They're focusing on reels. That's kind of their number one short form video, I guess I should say, short form video. You'll notice if you are on Instagram and TikTok, a lot of the things that Instagram does is based off of TikTok. So the trending audio, it gets trending on TikTok first, and then it becomes trending on Instagram. So if you are on TikTok, you might want to use that as like research, and what's performing well on TikTok is going to be performing well on Instagram, so that you can get a head start.
Yeah, I always like to say, I'm an older millennial, I guess you could say. And so I like to post my content weeks later on Instagram, the trending content. I like to hop on that bus weeks later, because it is, what is hot and new right now, it's on TikTok. Yeah. However, if your clientele is not on TikTok, don't feel overwhelmed like you have to be on. If you're like a lot of us and you're seeing what's trending weeks later on Instagram, just embrace that. That's just where we are in life. If we're a little bit later, to the game, it's okay.
And the same goes with Facebook too. Facebook has a few different rules, rules, but if your clientele or your ideal client is on Facebook, then you should be focusing your efforts and posting on Facebook versus Instagram versus TikTok. So it's wherever your audience is, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Think about your audience and then reverse engineer your content to appeal to that audience. Sarah, could you please put your contact info in our chat too, in case anybody would like to reach out?
Yes, of course. I would love to. So I'm going to put my my Instagram handle. That way you can really see like firsthand what I'm doing. I always think it's good to get examples. So if you follow me, Sarah June Diaz, Realtor, you can see, exactly what kind of stories I'm posting, what reels I'm posting. You can use my stuff. I don't care. And then my website is sarahjunerealtor.com. And I'm going to put my number in here as well. And you can reach me whichever way you like.
Awesome. And please let us know if you guys have any other questions for her. I'm going to wrap us up today by focusing on Christmas in July. So many of you, if you already work with our business development managers, you've been hearing the buzz for probably over a month about our Christmas in July. And what that is it is a kickoff for our annual Adopt a Family program. Every year, we partner with HELP, which is the Homeless Engagement Lift Partnership, to adopt families. These are families in the area that are in need. And each of our offices in years past, this is our third year doing it, we have each adopted a family per office. However, and a lot of our agents, they've participated in, donating cash or donating gift items that our family requests. But this year, our goal is to sign up some of our friends and our partners and for their own families. So if you would like more information, go ahead, scan the QR code. I love QR codes. So you can scan it right now and find out more about signing up for your own family or participating in one of our office families. So kicking off Christmas in July, we don't have a lot of classes coming up the end of this month because everybody's kind of wrapping up their summer, getting those last minute vacations on, but be on the lookout for our CE classes. Our fall CE class schedule should be coming out soon. CE classes on Zoom, the third Thursday of the month. And that, my friends, is it for us today. Thank you, Sarah June, so much. That was great information. This will be a webinar that I will be getting back on and looking over again to get some more tips. I actually, during the webinar, went in and updated my profile. I think I do that every single time I do an Instagram webinar because I'm like, oh, this is a good idea. This is a good idea. So social media, your page is ever evolving. Don't ever feel like, just because that's what you have out there doesn't mean that you shouldn't get in there and update and change what is on there. And if you need any more help with content for your social media, please know that it is always free at Landmark Title. We can actually help you create content pieces for your social media. So you don't even have to say, you don't even have to have all the ideas. You can have these custom pieces made for you. You can reach out to your business development manager and even just say, I need social media pieces. They can do the rest for you. Or if you have an idea that you want for a particular one or a series, send the ideas over to them and we will have them created. So if you're not already working with them, I really encourage you to reach out to Beth, Becky, Melinda, Mary, Patty, Michelle, and Prescott, Michael, Tom, or Renee, and they will take care of everything. And as always, thank you to Landmark Title for allowing us to bring you Marketing Matters every Wednesday at 10 a.m. We have 7 offices across the valley to service all of your title and escrow needs. When you get all of those leads and you get them under contract and you're ready to go, we'd love to service you. So Thank you guys. Thank you, Sarah June. Let us know if you have any questions or there's any particular marketing content you want covered, and we're happy to do it.
Bye, you guys.